I remember sitting across from my dad, my computer balanced on my lap, trying to finish my final essay for school. A hospice nurse approached me, handing a small booklet, and I looked down at the cover. It said, "What to Expect, a guide to prepare you for the death of a loved one." I never thought I'd find myself here, in a nursing home, 21 years old, sitting next to my, sitting beside my dying 44-year-old father, but he had brain cancer. I flipped through the booklet, my eyes catching a section about coolness of the body, how the hands, arms, feet, legs may be cool to touch, and how the skin might change color. I set my laptop aside, leaned forward, and placed my hands on my dad's foot. Cool to touch, just like the booklet said. I examined his feet and then his hands. The blue and purple tones were settling in. His breathing became irregular with long pauses of silence and then a shallow gasp. This went on for hours. The hospice nurse came up and told us it was time. Any minute now. My dad's girlfriend, my brother, and I sat around him, whispering to him that it was okay to go, even though I didn't mean it. I didn't want him to go. I wasn't ready, nor will I ever be. I watched his last breath. It was like a gasp, like a fish out of water. And then just like that, he was gone. I delusionally tapped his shoulder, thinking maybe he'd wake up, but he didn't. They wheeled my dad out of the room, and Here Comes the Sun played softly in the background. But I didn't feel the warmth of that song. I felt defeated and pissed. I was pissed he'll never get to meet my future kids or walk me down the aisle. Pissed he didn't get to finish that book he started. And pissed he never got to leave that city he grew up in and see the world like he always wanted to. Monday, May 9th, 2016, my dad died. Tuesday, May 10th, I took my final exam. Wednesday, May 11th, we buried him. And then Friday, May 13th, I walked across stage at my college graduation. After that, I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life, but grief has a funny way of making you move. So I just started to say yes to things that made me feel something. That summer, my best friend and I scraped together what little money we had from the Cheesecake Factory waiting tables, packed our ramen noodles and Insta coffee, and set off for Europe. And since then, all around the world, I've swam in random lakes, jumped into cliffs and waterfalls, and even jumped out of a plane once. I boated up a mountain in Brazil. I still don't know how to pronounce its name. I've missed trains, minded the gap, and got lost several times trying to read a map. It's definitely not my strength. Once, I took a random last-minute trip to Italy for a conference about trees. I went on a solo ski trip to Colorado just to see if I could survive, and spoiler alert, I did, thanks to a steady diet of Uncrustables and sheer willpower after nearly freezing to death in a sketchy motel room because I couldn't figure out the heater. In Acacias, my new friends and I danced till 6 a.m. My shoes literally broke off, and I still had to walk home 8 miles. I learned in Colombia that chickens literally kill, and I swear that chicken wanted me dead. I also learned in Colombia that sharing your food with strangers is a sign of love, and I gained 15 pounds of love that summer. Grief made me move without much of a plan, but I ended up falling in love with so many people I met along the way. Not in a romantic way, but in a deep appreciation for simply getting to exist alongside them. People who fed me home-cooked meals, who let me sit on their couch and just exist, who shared their space and their stories and their time with me. That stuff stayed with me. I lived with friends who became family, taking the role of Tia Ray Ray or Miss Rachel to their kids. I got to play a small part in their everyday lives, relaxing with wine nights, watching trashy TV, enjoying simple moments. We go for walks, chatting about life, and then return to cook meals together, talk about nothing and everything. Those moments, the ones over time felt simple and sacred, are the ones I hold closest. I wish my dad could have had more time for those moments to see how small, fleeting moments can mean so much. In every country I've set foot in, and every meal shared and every bond formed, he's been there too. He's been there in the way I say yes to adventure, in the way I cherish every connection, and in the way I remind myself time and time again that life is meant to be lived.